I decided to try to end my life. I was going to shoot myself, and the gun jammed. From what I can remember, I started becoming depressed in junior high. I started self-harming in 8th grade. In high school, I just really struggled with relationships and understanding what was healthy and what wasn't. October is when it really got bad. Stuff just hit the fan. I don't think I started cutting myself for attention, and I think that's kind of what other kids got the impression of. But if I wanted it to be noticeable, I would have done it in places that it could have been noticed easily. So word got around that I was self-harming, and I became a joke. And I don't think that was okay, and I don't think it would ever be okay for anybody to become a joke about something like that. And it just made it worse. The first time that I did it, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. And it kind of helped me calm down almost, because I could control at that point my pain and what I was feeling, and I was inflicting it, so no one else was hurting me at the moment besides myself, and I just liked that control factor. I believe it was November 5th that night. I went into my dad's room, took his pistol, and I went out to Lake Story, parked in one of the trails, and I just sat there and I waited for a second, and I was just thinking, this is really what I want. I don't want to do this anymore. And I was just like, screw it, I'm done. And loaded everything, cocked it, pulled the trigger, and it jammed. It was more of a relief almost. I don't know, pulling the trigger was okay, this is it, I'm done. And then hearing it just click was okay, this wasn't supposed to happen then. It wasn't meant to be. And going through all of that was just I'm glad I didn't put my family through that, because it was a lot for me, and it still is. I was in a bad place, and it's okay to be in a bad place as long as you work on getting out of it. You have to actually put in the work yourself. You have to understand that you have a problem, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm really happy that I ended up getting help, and I am where I am today. I met some really great people at Sandburg. If I do have problems, I go and I see Vicky here at Sandburg, and that helps. Even just talking sometimes when I'm upset helps. She asked me what my tattoo was for, because I have warrior with a semicolon on my bicep. The semicolon represented my story's not over with. I chose warrior because I've always considered myself strong. Not only am I physically strong, I am mentally and emotionally strong now because of what I went through. Haley Stevenson is my best friend, and we're polar opposites. I get mad really easily, and I'm super aggressive, and she's the exact opposite of that. She would never hurt a fly, and she keeps me balanced. And Todd is amazing. I consider him one of my best friends here. I could call him at 3 in the morning and he would answer and give me advice, and he's the first person I called when my grandpa and my grandma, when she was dying shortly after. He's just really great about stuff like that, and I know I have a good support group behind me. Sports especially, it's I'm the face of something now, being on 2 teams, and I just feel like there are other kids here that wish they had the opportunities that I have, and it just pushes me even more to be better than I was yesterday. After we won the regional tournament, I was just super hyped, everybody was, and we got home and I was just sitting in my room, and I happened to look down at my phone, and I just looked at the date, and I was like, dude, 2 years ago today is when I tried to take my life. And it's I would have never imagined myself here being a part of a national team. We just qualified and we're good enough to go, and I never thought I was good enough for anything like that. My heart was racing when I was tweeting it, because I was like, what can I say in order to make this not look attention-seeking, but to be self-validating? So I just went for it, and I woke up and I had 200-something likes and a couple retweets, and I was like, this is okay. I felt kind of scared, because I was like, I might get backlash from people saying that I'm just looking for attention, and that's not what it was. It was more for myself, to remind myself, this is where you are now, and that's where you came from. People weren't bashing me for it. They were saying that they love me, and they would have never imagined myself going through that, and it was just kind of gave me a boost of confidence. a lot more people deal with what I went through than I had expected. I had a couple people DM me and just ask me like how I got through it, and people I didn't even know, people that didn't even follow me, who just saw it from other people liking and retweeting it, and it was like, I can help other people, and it really made me feel good that other people were asking for help, because that's something that I didn't do, and it just major props to them because I didn't do that. Check on your friends, and when I say check on your friends, that doesn't mean when they respond and say, dude, I want to die, LOL, that you say, OMG, same. You take that seriously. I don't know if it's because I do come from a good family. I have been well off my whole life. I am very athletic, I'm good at sports, I'm smart. If people just thought, like, since I am so put together, that things couldn't be falling apart inside. I'm glad I didn't put my family through that, just because I felt firsthand how terrible it was, and I wouldn't ever want to be the cause of that for someone else. I am stronger than what I gave myself credit for, and to anyone who is going through this or feels that they want to end their life, I promise you things do get better. Like, my life has completely turned around, and there's nothing wrong with accepting that there's a problem and that you need to talk about it and you need that extra help, and that's okay. I promise you things do get better. That was where I was, and here I am now.